So what I would summarize these as sort of, we refer to this broad category of on-the-go devices as sort of a companion computing model.
Okay.
Where, you think of a companion, a trusted friend, somebody you do things with, somebody you relax with, somebody who helps you do things. These are very personal devices that really allow you to make it an indispensable part of your life. Companion in the sense that you take it with you.
Right.
I mean, when we were flying up here to meet with you gentlemen, we saw many people on the planes that now have tablets, and it's just amazing. It's really about choice.
Yes.
And there doesn't have to be just one thing. Everything in life just seems to flourish and thrive when there's diversity.
Yes.
And really that's what you see here. If you want all about tablets, you've got that option. If you want the flexibility of tablets and some productivity with a keyboard, you've got that option. If you want to live in the cloud, you've got that option. If you're a child, you've got something that's been designed for you. And what we've shown here today, all of these have the Intel Atom processor, which is really the most efficient processor we have for the on-the-go gadgets.
So it's a low power requirement, giving better battery life, but still performance to perform all the day-to-day tasks.
Yeah, including video, etc.
Very cool. And then what would be, we were talking about this device here with the cloud.
Yeah.
So what's Intel's impact on the cloud, and where do they see that?
Yeah, above and beyond the gadgets we're showing here today, we have a diverse set of products ourselves as a company. Everything from the servers and data storage. We have a data center group back at Intel. And so we are very active in helping build a standard model for people to build out cloud businesses and support that whole industry. So from the big back-end servers that really deliver the performance behind the cloud, if you will, all the way through the gadgets and the low-power processors, efficient processors that help the consumers sort of access their content, their information in the cloud.
So Intel is making sure they get the full spread spectrum from the client end user all the way back to the behind the scenes operations that support all of these devices and their abilities.
That's right.
All right, so all these devices look very cool and trendy. So what specifically does Oak Trail bring to the table versus current generation offerings from Intel for the tablet and mobile markets?
So Oak Trail is really a next generation Atom processor that has been specifically designed for tablets and what we refer to as sleek netbooks, meaning family systems. It runs typically about 3 watts, so it can get to some very thin, profile, light, sexy mobile devices. It has new capabilities, of course, increased in terms of CPU performance. It's got increases in terms of graphics performance, but it also adds the capabilities of sort of a media engine in order to be able to do the full 1080p decode on a sleek netbook or a tablet.
So it's very multitask friendly. It'll do a bit of everything, and it does do the 1080p video, which is something that had been lacking in a lot of the mobile products up until lately.
Yeah, the 1080p video I think is a key thing for consumers who want to be entertained and stay connected while they're out and about.
So in a market that seems to be flooded by a lot of mobile devices, a lot of cool new smartphones and some netbooks and some tablets, what does Intel really bring that other competitors haven't quite brought to the table yet?
There's several things. Let me kind of just take them one by one. One of the big differences for Intel as compared to other competitors really comes down to choice. We will run Windows 7, future Windows 8, as much as Android, as much as Linux, as much as MeeGo. So we really do support all OSs. And some consumers may choose to purchase an Android device because of a certain experience. Some may choose MeeGo because of a certain experience. Regardless of the OS, we're going to be there to be able to support the customer and help them bring those products to market. Yeah. Another thing that Intel distinguishes itself on is premier manufacturing leadership, bar none on the planet. And to be in control of the recipe, the physics, if you will, as you bring these super efficient, yet still high performance processors that enable the best mobile experiences, while delivering that freedom of choice on OSs and apps, is an amazing thing. Intel is marching to a common goal from the design of the actual processors themselves to the actual manufacturing process. There isn't any other competitor on the planet that is sort of marching to that same common goal. And when you can control the physics as much as the product design, that gives you a significant competitive advantage. And the last thing I would say is that if you look at where things are headed in terms of bringing compute-like capabilities or compute-like benefits to these types of mobile products, that definitely plays to our strengths. Some folks are trying to bring smartphone chips and try to grow them up in terms of level of performance. We're coming from the heritage of high-performance computing, and we're bringing down by, again, controlling the recipe of the physics, plus the super low power efficient designs, that we think we have a competitive advantage of bringing these levels of performance to this world of mobile devices.
So it's bringing historical performance and quality that Intel's known for and downsizing it into the powerful punch-packed filled processor that can basically support whatever the user decides they choose to use it for.
That's right.
Excellent. Well, another important talking point, I think, is the Intel App Center, which we should talk about now.
Yeah. So Intel App Up really is a destination, if you will, for consumers to go and find the apps that run on their sort of world of mobile devices. Today, it's built with Windows 7 and MeeGo support, primarily for netbooks and laptops. But let me spend a little bit of time on the vision over the next couple of years. So Intel has this vision, again, of choice, where you'll be able to seamlessly carry and use your content, your music, your movies, your photos, your social networks, and transport that from device to device, from screen to screen, without worrying why can it transfer, can I use it, is it compatible or not. This seamless world will then allow just a portability of your life on whatever's the device. So you may wake up in the morning and you may use a smart TV.
Okay.
Maybe then you're gonna switch to your smartphone and continue your blogging or your social media updates as you ride on the bus to school or to work. Then maybe you're at school or work, you pull the laptop or the netbook or the tablet out of your backpack. And then again, you might then move back into full productivity, do some class presentations, what have you. So that transportability of the content, the apps, the services across devices. Now, you need to have a channel for consumers to be able to access and use those apps and those services. And that's really what the App Center is meant to be. It's categorized like many of today's apps: health, productivity, games, entertainment, history, etc. And we're working with a lot of the companies you know by name. For example, we're working with Best Buy and Walmart so that they can build their own storefront, if you will, for Apple. We're also working with some of the hardware vendors like ASUS and Acer and Dixon's in the UK. Again, that they can offer a portal, a storefront for their customers.
So they can brand it for
That's
themselves.
right. They can brand it as their own. So Intel's kind of the invisible infrastructure behind. That's in terms of the consumer access, but things that other things that consumers won't see is all of the engineering, the manpower we put into the products, the services, the SDKs that allow the app's ecosystem, the developers, of which we have more than 24,000 registered for Apple, to more easily either port or create from scratch the apps that will delight consumers. And then one more thing on the consumer benefits side. We've had over 1 million downloads of the App Center to date. We launched that in September of 2010. And consumers will sort of feel more secure from the apps that they get at App Center because we sort of qualify them to make sure that there's no viruses, malware, spyware. So they can rest comfortable knowing that it's secure element, peace of mind there. And then there's actually a try before you buy. So many times we've talked to consumers in our research and they say, well, how do I know if it's going to be a good experience or not? I'm a little afraid to spend the money, so I don't spend. So the try before you buy option really lets you for 24 hours evaluate if it's delivering what you expected and whether or not you end up then paying for the app.
Then luckily today, one of the toys you brought with you, we can actually have a look at this convenience channel, the Intel App Center. We'll go ahead and take a close-up look at the Intel App Center now.
Great.
So now here we have the Acer netbook device with the Intel App Up Center, and Jim's going to give us a quick demo of some of the features of this marketplace.
Yeah, so here we're looking live at the actual App Up Center. Any consumer can take a look, just like we're going to do now, by going on the internet, opening up a browser window, and going to www.appup.com. Once you get there, you'll see the starter screen. If you haven't already downloaded the application that then allows you to browse through all of the apps, you'll need to do that. We've already installed it on this app, this netbook for demonstrating purposes. And you can simply see, right, featured app, games, what's hot, what are some of the staff's favorites. And so a user, once they get there, let's say I was interested in some of the featured apps, you can see on the left actual apps themselves featured, and on the right the whole category: books, learning, business, communications, education, and so on. Now, what you see today, again, are apps that are focused on netbooks and laptops. But the vision is, in the next 1 to 2 years, you're going to see support for smart TVs. You'll be able to go here to find apps. You'll see it for smartphones, and even other categories which consumers might not think about so often. For example, car in-vehicle infotainment. And so once you provide a tool into the hands of the developers, they can do so many magical things, right? Who would have thought that one day you use your smartphone to identify constellations in the sky?
Yes.
You just give them a tool and they do amazing things. And that's kind of what this is. Between TVs, phones, tablets, we're giving them a tool that they can just go off and be creative.
And so this is then as well, when they purchase the apps, they'll be able to use them across multiple devices.
That's right. In fact, today we allow the consumers to use it across 5 different devices. Yep.
Thank you, Jim, for joining us today here at TechwareLabs.com and bringing along these great toys to showcase Intel's latest Atom lineup and mobility products. Be sure to check out full coverage at www.TechwareLabs.com for a full write-up and more details.